Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming to Marissa's Google Doc quarantine party. Tonight is going to be the most epic party ever. We are going to go balls to the wall, whatever the fuck that means. Freaking go off in the chat. I want some people saying how hard they're partying tonight, you know? That's the kind of thing I love to hear. That is the kind of thing I love to hear. So, as we all know, I mean, some of you might not know, it's quarantine, which is sort of, as everybody's saying, the best time for love. And lucky you, I have been reading some Elite Daily, a great little magazine website type thing. And I have all of the hot love tips. Okay, let's just add this other GIF in to sort of get you guys started. That's the vibe. So guys, if you're dating, if you've been dating the past few years, you know that dating is hard. It's difficult, especially in New York. And, you know, there's a lot of shitty things that men can do to you other than what we call in the field ghosting. Okay, so I'm here to tell you a little bit about the other things that can happen to you. There's a lot of sort of new things that they can do. So just listen up, and you might hear something that sounds familiar. There's a name for it. Okay, so ladies, did you totally vibe with that hottie from Hinge and get to the point where like you followed each other on Instagram, only for him to unfollow you or to keep following you and ghost you? Ladies, he might be orbiting you, okay? Let's write it up here. Orbiting. He might be orbiting you. Okay, ladies, did you meet a cutie on Venmo and you talked a lot? You really talked a lot, but then you didn't hear from him for a bit, and then he texts you randomly, and then you don't hear from him a bit, and then he texts you again. Ladies, he might be bread crumbing you. Okay, ladies, okay, did that hot guy that you met at the line in the DMV or whatever, that guy just really charm you, and did you guys just really fall in love, and like you grew to trust him, and you talked for months and months for him only to switch sides and start fighting for the British? Ladies, he might be Benedict Arnolding you. Okay, look out for the signs, all right? Ladies, did that hot chunk of meat just absolutely charm you to bits? Okay, ladies, are you ready to just get loaded up with triplets from him? Ladies, is that man your dad? He might be Oedipusing you, and nobody knows how to spell that word. Great, and we have learned so much tonight. Let's just throw another GIF on there for good measure. Or not. No, we're not gonna do it. We're not gonna do it. Bring on someone very special. You know him as the house DJ, Matt Albany, aka DJ Paprikash. That's what up? Wow.
What's up, Marissa? You okay?
And thank you to Matt for making all these gorgeous little intro vids and putting all the music on them because he's a DJ. Okay. So
not too much. How you doing?
Your voice sounds so cool.
Oh, did something is oh shit.
Look, there we go. We're back. My bad.
Oh wow. Okay. What happened there? Did you swallow your iPhone?
Yeah, I've been sleeping with a lot of other French DJs in the local area, so it's kind of one of the byproducts of it is that we get the nice little,
that'll do that.
The little vocoder effect. Yeah. How you doing though? You okay? I've learned that anybody who goes in with a Tinder set, it automatically means like Something's up. Something's up.
Something. Guess what, though, Matt? I'm actually doing pretty good.
You're doing
Guess what,
good?
though? That's
What?
actually doing quite well. So way to judge me there. How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing fine. I've been fine. Yeah, I feel like as like everything's been going on, I've just had many existential crises. You know what I mean? A lot of crises going on.
Yeah. But,
I got I got very into houseboats for a little bit because I thought that was going to be my escape
I
from this
got into
world.
van.
Really?
I got into van life. Have you seen that
Like the
hashtag on Instagram where people like deck out their vans and live in their vans?
I got semi into van life where it was like the tiny home thing, yeah, and like
Yeah, I'm all about that shit.
I immediately was like, oh, I'll go on Craigslist, see if someone's selling an RV. And then one of the first things I saw was that they're selling the RV from high maintenance. And I was like, I am a cliche. And so I backed off from it.
Roll. That
I
sounds
know.
like it probably smells a little bit good.
And that's
makes
what I'm
sense.
saying. Yeah, so that's been like a
Man.
majority of my time. I got very into, oh my God, phone going on.
Oh,
One of
pretty
the
popular or
cause of the
whatever.
biz. But I got really into like true crime. That's been my big thing as of late. I'm gonna drop a little photo in here. This was what I found that I thought was fun. I'm not sure if it'll pop up in time. Oh,
Are you doing the
maybe.
crime
Yeah, there we
yourself?
go.
Old as hell, gorgeous.
Yeah, this is for a kid who was yeah died in 1854. A
Are we doing
clown swung. Yeah, this was in Cincinnati, Ohio. He was killed when he was swung by the heels by a circus clown,
Holy shit.
which, right? He was only 13 years old, which was like strong clown to swing a 13-year-old by the heels, unless like maybe, I don't know, people were tinier back then. They say Jesus was 2 feet tall.
That's
So,
like a weird thing is like holding them by the feet makes sense to me, but holding onto just the heels is a weird
yeah.
thing. Like, how do you kind of grip on? Like, you're like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. Yeah, that's like, nah,
You know what I mean?
mate. So yeah, I've been going down that route. And I guess before I go, I just wanted to check in, say hey, all that. Hope you're doing well. I actually booked a Dateline spot. For those
Cool as
unfamiliar,
hell.
Dateline. They write the stories and then you kind of have to live your life out according to what they write. So if you want to pull it up, just a little sneak peek, and I'll let you get on with the show.
Video. Oh, and I think this is actually a real tear jerker. So anyone who isn't able to jerk their tears tonight, be careful.
Have a friend
That's
jerk
what I'm
your
saying.
tears.
Huh?
Have your friend jerk your tears.
Huh?
Huh? Nah, man.
Yeah, have a friend jerk your little tears till they come little tear droplets. Okay, this one.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
All we really know of Matt Albany's disappearance are the last 2 texts which...
Oops. Let's start it
Online
over.
cavity.
Dateline isn't connecting so well.
All we really know of Matt Albany's disappearance are the last 2 texts which he sent. One saying, "I will never die," followed up by, "Try to catch me white and nerdy."
The fun thing about this is I don't know how it is. I don't know if I do show up found or if I just continue to be missing. I got probably like 48 hours to pack up and kind of follow
Oh,
the
wow.
script.
So you could
Yeah.
be missing right now.
Yeah, I mean we're looking for airing it next week, so
Okay, but do you
what
know
a
where you are?
No, not yet. I think
Oh,
Keith
okay.
Morrison
So
and
what
Phillips
now?
are just
Are you
gonna pick me
at
up.
this very moment?
Right now, I'm cool. Once
Um,
they air it, though, I gotta be gone.
oh man, Matt, that is
Yeah.
really interesting to know how to pronounce that emoji. How do you pronounce you know, the whole emoji? Wait, let me see if I can copy and paste this. Here, let me choose the weirdest emoji to pronounce. And I think the crowd's loving this. I think the crowd's actually loving this. How do you pronounce this? This one's gonna be hard. I'm gonna copy and paste this into Matt's section. How do you pronounce this emoji? Let's make it big.
Oh, it's so far away on my screen. Let me see if I can zoom in. Oh, he's an old man with glasses.
That's how you.
I think that.
He's got no glasses.
I think.
No, Matt. He has no glasses, so it's a little more.
Yeah, I think on that one it's just like, hey, hey.
Oh,
Something like that.
okay.
Yeah, I like that pronunciation, but also English is so difficult to pronounce. So the hardest language.
Right. It's tough. Right now, I'm taking a Spanish class, so officially English is my second language.
Oh yeah. I only know Este es mi carnaval. This is my carnival.
That's interesting.
That one and no soy un gato. I'm not a cat.
I'm not a cat. Well, you're saying those correctly. I can actually verify that as a sort of fluent Spanish speaker. Mad, muchas gracias para being here. And I jumped back sort of on purpose for conceptually. Guys, everybody clap at home for Matt Albany, aka DJ Pepper Crush, the house DJ. The house DJ. Okay, bye. Thank you for being here. Bye. Okay, guys, we're gonna bring on a new guest. Can you believe that? Okay. Nobody believes it ever. He's a very funny guy. He works for a little place that you might have heard of. CC. Okay, and that stands for Comedy Central. Guys, please give it up for Devin Walker. Please clap at home. Devin, you got 50,000 people clapping at home for you right now. What's up?
I can't believe it. 50,000 people all just here to see me. That's beautiful. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, you. What's up?
I'm doing all right. I just took a little I went to Miami for a while and I just got back today. So I'm like a little like out of it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Did you party hard?
You know what? I'm going to be completely sincere. I really did. Like after my first night there, me and my friends were like, you know what? Let's find like an underground party and let's like get wild and throw caution to the wind. And then we did absolutely everything that we could to find a party, and we never did. So it just ended up being me and my two friends.
The only thing you had there was bad intentions.
That's right. Yeah, I really
kind of beautiful, I will say.
Yeah,
but I'm sorry you didn't find the party. That would have been, at least follow through, and then you have the sort of the rewards there. You reap the benefits.
It's for the best that I didn't find it. The trip ended up being pretty comical. I've never taken a trip where that many things have gone wrong. So I'm just happy to be here. I'm just happy to be here standing in front of you.
Hear about it?
I mean, we tried to ask a waiter for drugs, and then instead of hooking us up with said drugs, he gave us a card for a guy who tried to like get us to go on his boat. I think he thought we were women, and it was just a man being like, he sent us this big long paragraph being like, "Yo, come on the boat tonight. We got bottles and champagne." And I'm like, "Yeah, I guarantee you when I show up, it's not going to be what you want, friend."
That is so funny.
There's a lot of stories. There's a lot that came from this trip. It was an interesting time.
I love that.
Yeah.
Hey, and us as comedians, we know sort of weird, wacky situations are sort of great for material. Cheers.
Cheers.
That is what we love.
Marissa, what's your what's your relationship with Facebook? Like, what's your Facebook journey been like?
Oh, that is intriguing. So I have stopped using it as much as I used to. It's been a sort of a slow peter. And actually, one of my roommates just got friended by our landlord, which is like the weirdest thing. That's what I'm thinking about now. And I'm let me check if he friended me. But what's your relationship with Facebook while I'm...
I mean, I got on it like when I was probably like 18 when I first got one.
I was 8.
Exactly right. Yeah, that's the age difference. And yeah, I got one, and I used to really put a lot of my life on it. And like once a day, I'll check Facebook just to see what was going on like 10 years ago. And let me show you what today's memory was. It was
exciting.
It was this. This is what
Wow.
This is what I wrote, and I, for the life of me, do not know what this is a reference to. I posted a lot of song lyrics back in those days, and I tried to search Google to see what song lyrics these were, and it's attached to nothing. So I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know what this is, but it made me want to do a deeper dive into my Facebook and just like, and this makes me feel like I wasn't a likable person because I was posting things like this. I wanted to do like a deeper dive into my Facebook persona from this era I want you to try to help me figure out if I was someone who was worth befriending.
Okay. And people in the comments, we got to vote at the end. Yeah. Or throughout, say whether you'd be Devin's friend or not, but back in the day.
In 2002.
And take this seriously.
Yeah, I want you, because I need to know this, okay? I'm thinking this quote I'm thinking it's maybe like a Drake lyric is what I'm maybe from like an old Drake song that's maybe like lesser known, but it's like it's not the Drake that we know present day, you know? Like it's not this Drake, who also has flaws. Like this is a flawed Drake, and we all know this to be a flawed Drake, but he's big pop star Drake. This was not the Drake that I was referencing. I was very much I was referencing, one second, this Drake here, which was just,
it's taking a second.
He was just a man of a different time. Wait for it.
Oh,
there it
yeah.
Is. Yeah,
that's
remember
Jimmy.
that? Exactly.
Remember Jimmy? Did you watch Degrassi?
Yes. I started watching it after I found out who Drake was, though. I didn't watch it before that.
Oh, interesting.
But yeah, that's somebody that I was referencing a lot. Here's an old picture of me from prom. And just for reference, I need you to know that I did wear a baseball cap to my prom. So that's just something that that's just a little insight into who I was at the time. Here's a picture of me trying to give my friend a high five and her not being open or accepting to it in any way.
Okay, wait, sorry, I didn't do it. Okay, okay. She is totally shutting you down.
She's absolutely not. So that's really not boding well for me. You see the cap.
That your date?
That was my date. That was my friend Nicole. Still my friend to this day.
Okay, that's good. You wouldn't have guessed from that picture.
Yeah.
If you asked me, are we still friends today? I would have said maybe not.
You would have said probably not, right? And this is something. You know, you see the hat there. You see the hat that matched her dress. It's black with yellow on it, very strategically planned out. Here's another picture that I found with that same friend, but this is from college. Hold on. Also found via Facebook. Okay, just pop that in the chat.
Let's see.
There I go in the back.
Yes.
Never in this era, I'm never without a cap for some reason. Always wearing a hat of some sort on my head. What's that?
Would you wear hats now?
Sometimes, but not with this. You know, I think I was still trying to figure myself out. You know, I think I was trying to hide a little bit. What do you think, just based on these pictures that you've seen so far, about
if I would be your friend or not?
Yeah, what do you think at this stage of my
What
life?
I think is that I think we would have been like in class pals. Are you in school at this point, in high school or college?
This is college.
Okay. So I would have, I think either college or high school, we'd see each other in class and be like, hey, but we would never like hang out. You know what I mean?
Which I guess
I think it's like that goofy guy, Devin. You know what I mean? That's sort of the vibe I would get. People I was watching it. Can everybody vote whether they be his friend or not?
I need to know because I think I thought I was more likable than I actually was.
Somebody wrote causes of chronic nausea and vomiting, AGA Journals blog. Is that like a joke, or was that something you searched his quote and got that?
That's what happens when you search the quote, because I tried to search the quote too, and it's a bunch of like WebMD stuff for like stomach problems.
Oh, what if that was what you were quoting? You were like, this is great. You were like, this is some good shit. Like, this should be in a song.
Yes, maybe that's what it is. Maybe I was writing my own lyrics and I was like a burgeoning artist, and maybe that's just something that I've like put out of my mind.
Yeah,
but, like was a part of who I was. That's something that I hadn't even considered. Maybe that was me just trying to be Drake, like not even taking from him, just like drawing from him as like as an inspiration to start writing my own.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that being a possibility.
Yeah, I'm trying to hold on. Let's see if I've got anything else that gives you any sort of an indication of. Okay, here we go. Here's me at my brother's wedding with a haircut. 1 second.
Brothers are always getting married. That's the thing about brothers.
They do stay getting married.
Yeah. That's you?
That
looks so different.
That's me at in 2011. You know, wow. At the time I remember very much thinking like, this is a fun, cool way to look, and everybody will like me if I have this haircut. And I'm looking back and I'm like, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure if that.
It was definitely that was a look though.
It was a look, and then hold on. Then I kind of experimented. I was like in college and kind of experimented with kind of like I was wearing like this golf hat a lot. Hold on.
Yeah.
You'll see it in a second.
Oh.
Really trying to, really trying to. You see me with the.
You are a hat guy.
It's just the types of hats changed over the years. Like this is sort of it was some sort of a golf hat. I don't know why I owned it. I think maybe it used to be my dad, but also notice the color coordination between the hat and the little Ralph Lauren guy. Come on, you know, you can't say I wasn't coordinating.
I wonder if you were like seeing into the future and coordinating with my eyeshadow as well.
I would like to say that was exactly what was happening. Also, if you see me in my brother's wedding photo, also wearing the red vest, which come on, you know, maybe we were meant to be friends this entire time, and now me going back and finding this is just confirming what
this is fate.
Maybe
this sort of color combo. I'm gonna take a screenshot because boy is this good, and I'm gonna get the lids in it.
Please do.
Okay, wait. I literally closed my eyes. Okay. There we go. Got it. Got a screenshot.
Okay. So, all right. So your verdict is you think we'd be class friends, but nothing. We wouldn't like ever be like friends, like real buddies.
That's what I'm gonna say. But do you think you would be friends with you now?
Absolutely not. No. I would
not even class friends.
I don't think so. I think if I knew that version of myself, like that version of me would be trying to hang out with this version of me a lot, and I'd be nice, but I'd be like, no, I'm busy. I'd be like, I can't hang out with you, man. I got other stuff to do.
Right.
You know, but keep up the good work. Keep up the Drake posts. I hope it goes well for you.
Yeah. Nice hat though.
Yeah, good hat, man. Keep exploring your stylistic sensibilities with those hats. You'll find something eventually. I think that's what I'd say.
You did. And I guess the answer was to stop wearing them.
It's far less often.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I got. Thank you guys.
Amazing. Thank you, Devin. Any last words for the people?
Guys, I'm better than I used to be. If maybe I didn't convince you that I was worth friendship back then, but I'm very lonely right now. So if you'd like to befriend me, I'm completely open to that. Just you can search my name and find me somewhere, and yeah, let's talk about. I'll talk about whatever, honestly.
Yes, I can vouch for him. He's a pretty cool guy. Thank you, Devin. Everybody clap at home. Everybody erupt with applause. This will be a fun little time for me to just sort of plug something. In case you want to support the comedians, I'm going to throw this up. Venmo, Marissa Goldman's tip performers. Sorry to say it, but it's true. We got to support the arts. The next person. Speaking of Facebook from back in the day, I know this person from back in the day. We went to high school together. Can you believe it? Okay, everybody, please give a warm round of applause at home for Melissa Lozada Oliva, lovely poet, hilarious, beautiful girl.
Hey, speaking of back in the day in high school, I was just in our hometown
You were just
for yeah, I was social distant visiting my mom.
wow.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was okay. Whenever I go back home, it's like extremely spooky because I'm like, okay, everything is like haunted about hometowns. Also, Newton is a strange place. Yes. Okay, now my mom is calling me, and she's calling me. Hold on, 1 second. I was gonna show. Yes, 1 moment. Oh my God. I love things that are live. Hold on. Okay. How are you?
Pretty good. Can't complain, you know. Oh, wait, check this out. I got a COVID test.
Oh, where'd you go? Where'd you get your nose holes poked?
Modern MD, and I'll tell you, I've gotten a couple of tests before. This one was the deepest. They really rammed it up.
Oh my God.
Finger blasted up the nose. That shit was painful.
Yeah. Every time I get it, it's like a little different. And every time they're like extremely pleasant and it makes me feel like they like it. Like they're like, okay, like we're going to count to 4. And then they don't start. It's in there for like 3 seconds and then they start counting to 4. And then they're like, they're like smiling underneath their hazmat suit.
They start counting later.
Yeah. Like, how do you, I'm so surprised I haven't been lobotomized yet.
With the thing.
What'd you say?
They can stick it up so far they lobotomize.
I know. Yeah, I feel like they could, but maybe that's just like obsessive thoughts. And I'm like, oh my God, it's gonna go so far up that they're gonna touch something that shouldn't be touched, and then all of a sudden I'll forget how to speak English.
That'll be tough.
Yeah. So I was thinking about what to do here. Also, this show is so cool. I've never seen it. I'm sorry, I'm so fake.
Okay.
But I think this is so cool, and I think if I had to put it together, I would have a tantrum and just not. So I think this is so cool, just because technology makes my eyes cross. Okay, so I've been like obsessed with Britney Spears's Instagram naturally.
Oh, yes.
And I really like her captions so much, and I really think she's really poetic. And I'm really sad about what the U.S. has done to Britney Spears. And I think Britney Spears and Kanye West are just like symptoms of the U.S. a little bit, just like as pop stars. Okay, so I'm going to drop a image in here. Okay, that I have to do. Is this like sharing my screen right now?
Keep in mind it'll take a second. sharing my screen.
Okay.
So I've got the doc up. Slap a little picture in the doc.
All right.
And
I'm gonna slap one of her one of her Instagram captions. If this loads, if this decides to load, if not, I can just read it. Okay. I need a new computer. Oops.
It's okay if it doesn't load. I can just
Okay.
put you. I can just look. I can put you big.
Okay. Cool. Oh my gosh, I'm huge. Okay.
I can do
So
that.
here's one of her Instagram captions that made me really sad and that I refurbished into a poem with line breaks. As someone who is really close to getting her MFA, but it hasn't yet.
Where?
Okay. A little place called NYU.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, it's getting hot here.
You're the presence of greatness. And 80K
Yeah.
in debt. Okay, so here's what 80K in debt taught me. This is a refurbished Britney Spears poem from her Instagram captions. It is word for word. I'm simply reading it as a poet. When I was younger, I never really had an acne problem until I did my first movie. I was so nervous to be on camera, so I went to the dermatologist for stronger skincare products. It cleared up quickly, but you have to be careful. Prescribed products are very strong. I remember waking up and saying, wow, it's gone. Now I stay outside a lot, and I give the sun credit for lifting my spirits and giving me a natural glow. It was so hot yesterday, but look what I found. My mini rose garden hidden in the back. I put them in my hair. I thought they were exquisite. Oh my gosh. What? I feel like your audio is distorted, so I might be talking. Sorry.
I like what she said, hidden in the back.
I know. Yeah, it's so sad. Okay, here's another one. It's called It's the Little Things. It's the little things. And I have no idea what I was thinking when I got a freaking black ink triangle on my right hand. During this time of quarantine, I really feel like making homemade bread, hanging my clothes out to dry, not being on my phone so much, spending more time meditating and praying, really finding my inner grace, going back to old traditions, understanding that life has more meaning. Also, living for beautiful surprises. Okay.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Yes.
Have you ever heard anything so beautiful?
I haven't. I moved by myself and her. Here's another one. This is the pink planet, aka GJ504b, the planet made of pink gas. It's even 4 times more massive than Jupiter. Can I just go there already?
I've seen that one. I love it. I love it.
I know. I'm just.
What would happen if she actually went there?
If she could, she would. I feel like if anyone is to colonize that planet, it should be Britney Spears.
Absolutely. Do you think she's the one who like made pink cool?
Yeah.
Pink color.
I feel like she made it cool, and then because she made it cool, it was like uncool, and then it was like reclaimed in like 2017 when millennial pink was a thing.
Yes, but isn't it a lighter pink now, sort of?
Oh yes, I think so. Did you ever have Mr. Patel? Did you have Mr. Patelis for history?
I didn't. I never had him.
I really wanted to do my thesis on Britney Spears, and he wouldn't let me because he said too many people had done it.
Wait,
but you know what?
Really?
Yeah.
Bummer. What did you end up writing about?
I don't know, some bullshit about like movies and '60s because that is more important than Britney Spears, I guess.
I think I wrote about Andy Warhol.
You wrote about Andy Warhol?
I think so.
Nice. I think I remember you being like in the cool art girl group, and I was like, "Ugh,
It was
look at those cool
cool.
art girls."
No, we didn't do anything except
I
for
don't know.
art, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like you
You
guys
were
just
in
knew
a
how to, huh?
we know what? We knew how to what?
Oh,
Oh my
I
god,
feel
we
like you
have
guys knew how to just like dress yourselves well and like took photo with Mr. Morris, maybe. Callback, inside
Mr.
joke.
Pierce was the photography teacher. Oh,
Yeah.
guys, yeah, our joke used to just be that our names were similar, which I love.
He'd always be like, Melissa, you're Colombian. Your dad's a drug dealer. And I'd be like, he
Oh
really
my
did,
God.
but I didn't care. I don't know. I learned a lot from
Yeah,
him.
he was like that. Love reminiscing about Newton North High School.
I know. It's the stuff of YA novels. I have one
It
more
adds-
Britney Spears thing.
Okay, I love it.
Okay, cool. Going to the beach is always so much fun. We are all social distancing and wearing masks, of course. Even still, there's a sense of togetherness at the beach that brings me peace. Oh my God, that rhymed. I feel so small next to this vast body of water. It takes me back to when I was 6 years old. ... The moment I would decide to get up and run to the beach. But it's so intimidating because I know my feet are about to touch something so beautiful. I get so excited, then chicken out. The connection I always feel with the heat from the sun on my body, connecting me to something way greater than myself. And the one moment you feel a nice breeze, it's like a spiritual experience. Love the feeling of coming home with a golden tan, thinking only of chocolate or ice cream. Okay. Well.
Amazing. You really are poetic.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Someone in the chat said frenemy vibes. We absolutely were not frenemies. We were friends. We just, right? We were friendly.
What? Who?
Someone on the chat says frenemy vibes. I don't think we're frenemies.
Wait, I don't think
Not
that
at all.
No,
Not
I
at
don't think
all.
that. What? Because you
Completely
both have
wrong.
curly hair. What? Like two girls can't
No.
exist who both have curly
Yes.
hair in virtual
Yes.
space.
Two girls can have curly hair in a virtual space.
Two girls can have curly hair.
It is true.
That's it.
Yes.
Well, that's all I have.
Well, Melissa, thank you so much for being here today. This was eye-opening.
Yeah, it's good.
I
hope
love
it was.
Everybody should follow her. What's her Instagram? Is it just Britney Spears?
Yeah, follow me at Britney Spears. My Instagram is LO Melissa, like ELLO Melissa.
Please
it's
follow her.
It's a play on my last name, Melissa LO. LO Melissa.
Oh, I never realized that.
I know everyone always like
yeah. Great poems. She's getting an MFA. So
I do other stuff than reappropriate Britney Spears too.
I didn't hear that last thing. Froze for me.
Oh, I do other things other than refurbish Britney Spears's sadness.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. Bye, Melissa.
Bye.
My friend, not frenemy. Okay. Oh, you guys. Okay, I'm gonna throw up the Venmo one more time because I'm a bitch, I guess. This is going straight to the performers. Okay, Marissa Goldman to tip performers. Do we understand? Okay, guys, please, everybody. clap at home for our next guest. He's coming from LA, I believe. And correct me if I'm wrong. Everybody clap at home from a different time zone. Lody McLody. Okay, Tyler Jackson.
Whoa.
You are in LA, right?
Yeah, I'm in North Hollywood. Yeah.
Okay, I got that right. Absolutely play.
I've never had a video that fancy with my name on it before.
Yeah, give it up for freaking Matt Albany making those vids.
That was good. I liked all the vocoder stuff.
Oh, yeah. He is a wild dude, to say the least. Ah, boy. So, how are you doing? Okay, you got a doc. Got an awesome presentation, which I'm going to throw up in the next tab, and I'm actually going to sort of minimize my video because this is important work that you're doing, and I think you should just have a conversation. Let's see. I'm gonna hit present. Sorry, it's loading. That's sort of the thing about the internet. Sometimes it takes a little bit.
It's a big file. I did far too much research. I've been very bored during quarantine with absolutely nothing to do but play video games and stuff. And you can just kind of. What was that?
I'm telling you, it's important work. I think it's good that you're doing this.
Truly,
so I'm going to review a little bit. Tyler's going to take over, and you will be absolutely enlightened. Okay.
Yeah. And I think you'll be able to tell like when to click through it. It's pretty fast paced presentation. Hi everybody. I'm Tyler. I'm going to talk to you today about Creative Commons licensing. It's a unique form of online copyright licensing that allows for the sharing and remixing of copyrighted works. Except I'm just kidding. I'm actually going to talk about Cards Against Humanity. Cards Against Humanity, everybody's favorite adult party game. Put a white card with a black card. Hilarious. Let's get that. Yeah, the inspiration for my startup is a sad hand job. What? Comedy gold, everybody. If you're out there and you've never played Cards Against Humanity before, one, I'm very jealous. And two, basically, as you see on screen, the rules are every round one person plays a black card, and then everybody else plays a white card. And then the person that played the black card chooses the funniest response, and whoever played that white card gets a point. The key selling point of the game is that most of the cards have super offensive, edgy things written on them, such as the profoundly handicapped or a sad hand job, as you can see. And because of that, it is insanely popular and successful. I don't know. I have supremely mixed feelings about Cards Against Humanity as a whole. On the one hand, they do a lot of interesting things with their money, as you'll see here. A few years back, they took a bunch of money from a Black Friday sale and they bought a bunch of land on the Mexican border and then hired a bunch of eminent domain lawyers to mire the Trump administration in lawsuits. They also redistributed some of that money to the poorest people that subscribed to their holiday service. They gave like $1,000 to the poorest 100 customers, and then the next poorest 10,000 people got a full refund. There's examples, you can click through them. They bought Clickhole, popular online humor website Clickhole, and turned it into a completely employee-owned company. But then on the other hand, they recently got called out by their own employees for fostering a racist, sexist office culture. And one of their very few black writers spoke up about that racism and was institutionalized against his will, which, Jesus Christ. If you haven't read about this, it's worth looking up that story. So they're very admirable publicity stunts notwithstanding. They're completely unacceptable office behavior notwithstanding. In this presentation that I made, I'm looking at it like purely as a card game, which is to say that I am not a fan of the game. If you click forward a couple slides to the ranking within the board gaming community, it's a pretty looked down upon game on BoardGameGeek.com, which is like the big online hub for tabletop games. It's ranked as the 3,784th best game, right below classics like Piranha Pedro and DNB Fu, The Final Gamble. Absolute Monopoly level classics there. The whole board gaming community in general seems to feel like a lot of the writing like needlessly punches down or touches on edgy subjects purely for shock value. The gameplay gives you the illusion that you're being creative and funny when in reality you're just shuffling around other people's ideas over and over again. One gaming website on the next slide, the Dragon's Den, created a Kickstarter for their own version called Offensive Adult Party Game, which comes with a game box, one black card that says, I like playing offensive adult party games because blank. And then if you click forward a couple, it comes with 17 identical white cards reading, I lack creativity and enjoy the illusion of being funny. So that gives you an idea of how the board gaming community feels about Cards Against Humanity. Cards Against Humanity has always been free on their website. If you're paying for it, you're a sucker. On the next slide, you can see that it's published under a Creative Commons license, which means that you're free to copy, share, remix, and build upon the game, provided you give them credit, make it clear that they don't endorse you, you don't make money off of it, and you have to publish your version under that same kind of license, which encourages a lot of fan expansions online that are provided for free under those exact terms, like the next one. Cards Against the Humanities. Wait till the boys in the English department get a load of this. We're going to have so much fun making Baudelaire references to each other. On the next one, Ladies Against Humanity. Ooh, I will allow it, even though it is already very similar to the already existing Cards Against Humanity for her, which is, you'll see here. It gets a little tricky though, because apart from the free stuff, on the next slide, Cards Against Humanity also ran their own wildly successful Kickstarter campaign in 2012 to create professionally printed decks, which led to it becoming insanely popular and spreading into retailers everywhere. They've been pumping up expansions for years. My local Target literally has an entire shelf of their stuff. There's a photo. It's like a whole wall of it. Yeah, it's kind of a lot. So I think people have seen the huge financial success of Cards Against Humanity, seen their relatively permissive licensing, and said, never mind the free PDF file on my website bullshit. I want to make some moolah off of my obscure Magic the Gathering themed deck scene here. There's like Casters Against the Multiverse. Click forward to the next slide and it'll tap some mana. Tap a blue mana for hilarity, everybody. And so because of this licensing and stuff like that, online there is this huge gray market of legally dubious Cards Against Humanity expansions. Because after all, it makes sense that people that love playing a game that lets you feel creative by rearranging ideas written by other people would then feel like they're creating something new by rearranging an idea written by other people. Next, you can click next a couple times here. Not to mention the fact that the idea that they're taking and passing off as their own is an idea that somebody else already took from somewhere else and passed off as their own, apples to apples. In something that I like to call edgelord inception. It's basically like, yeah, I have my own Operation game. I got an idea for my own board game. It's like Operation, except that it's actually a hot naked chick this time. That'll be $1 billion, please, Mr. Milton Bradley. And by the way, this whole idea that I described of slightly modifying something that somebody else made and then passing it on is the literal definition of a meme. This company is literally making memes and charging for them, which you can't do because memes are for the people, which these games are clearly against. So having established this whole gray market, I'd like to spend the rest of this presentation giving you a tour of the entire weird little ecosystem online that has popped up around Cards Against Humanity, like the pilot fish sucking the leftover food from a shark's teeth. One quick thing before I get into all the examples, it is worth looking into what Cards Against Humanity will enforce when it comes to shutting down knockoffs. We know what the exact criteria are thanks to a guy with the handle Business Jedi, who was running a Kickstarter for a game called Government Against Society, who received an email from Cards Against Humanity and posted the entire thing online, seen here, with the title Cards Against Humanity Doesn't Like Me. So if you click forward, we can see the whole email. Basically, they're looking for two things. The name, it can't be anything like Cards Against Blank or Blank Against Humanity. And two, the look, don't use the same font, don't use black and white cards. They put this forward. All the legitimate games try to abide by it. But there are plenty of people who are trying to make their own Cards Against Humanity decks that do not give a shit about this at all. And it's very, who knows if it is legal or not. Easy peasy, right? The person that made this, Government Against Society, they tried to abide by these rules, and their new project, if you click forward a couple times, we can see it. It's called People versus Politics, Cards Against Politics. Black and white cards, the cards against, and the title did not get funded at all. On the plus side, on the next slide, it looks like my Cirque du Soleil themed knockoff, Farts Against Humanity, should be good to go and legally A-OK. Les clowns, laissez-moi poupée cassée. So without further ado, I'm going to very rapidly walk you through every single Cards Against Humanity knockoff for sale online that I could find in like 2 weeks worth of research. So my first category is polished knockoffs, the ones that are professionally designed and printed, ready to be bought legitimately online. They usually have different color schemes and avoid having a similar name. So there's Crabs Adjust Humidity, Clones Attack Hilarity, and you can rapidly click through these. The same initials, clever. Guards Against Insanity, which markets itself as a darker, more uncomfortable version. It probably comes with a wallet chain and a ticket to Woodstock 99. We've got Rotten Apples. Actually, we're an apples to apples knockoff. Thank you. Cards for the I jumped ahead. Cards for the Masses. That's the dollar store knockoff. Cards and Punishment, which is modeled after Victorian torture devices. Rotten Apples. The absurd ones: Crows Adopt Vulgarity, Cocks Abreast Hostility, Carps and Angsty Manatee, Carbs of the Huge Manatee. Two completely different, unrelated knockoffs involving manatee. What a fine pair, right? Look at those. Ha! That's what she said. Yet another knockoff. We can get more specific. Do you love Shakespeare? Bards dispense profanity. Are you Christian? The game for good Christians. Are you Catholic? The Catholic card game. I would be the patron saint of constantly being pregnant. Are you Mormon? You got to give moats and beams a shot. Oh no. Forward twice. Maybe. Does it keep jumping backward? Yeah, Moats and Beams. The most fun Mormon game ever created, top to bottom. The version for gay people with little skinny cards, apparently. Are you about to get married? There's a game for you. Do you have kids? Give this one a whirl. And while you're playing Kinder Perfect, the kids can play Kids Against Maturity. Kids Create Absurdity. Or Not Parent Approved, which, spoiler alert, it is parent approved. So those are the legitimate ones, I guess. Then there are more like dubious knockoffs, ones that kind of look like handmade almost, or they're using like licenses that there's zero way that they have at all. These ones are mostly found on Amazon because I don't know if you know this or not, but if you scroll past the first page of results on any Amazon search, it is a flea market. So let's get started. There are Words Against Morality, Cows Grilling Hamburgers, Cards with No Sexuality. Spoiler alert, cards may contain sexuality. I love that they had to put that on the Amazon listing. Cats Abiding Horribly, which interestingly, oh shit, I keep jumping forward. What the fuck did you say? Featuring the immortal tagline, "Humanity hates these cards," which is the dumbest shit I've ever read. Cats abiding horribly, which interestingly seems to have nothing to do with cats and everything to do with right-wing politics, and sticking it to the SJWs. Cats Against the World, which has everything to do with cats and nothing to do with the other one. Geeks versus Harsh Reality, which astoundingly has 9 spin-off decks. Thoughts Confound Psychology, Bachelorettes Against Decency, all manner of political versions, The Contender, Trump Against Humanity, and the opposite somehow, Humanity Hates Trump. Humanity Hates Hillary too. The spin-off as part of the ongoing liberal war against Christmas, Humanity Hates the Holidays. The cut rate family version, Cards Against Profanity. 2 fully functioning apps, one aptly called Cards Against Originality, and then the other oddly named Evil Apples versus Humanity, because they couldn't decide who they wanted to steal from. And then there are the completely stolen licenses, including Cards Against Futurama, Game Against The Simpsons, Eat My Shorts, Cards Against Muggles, Golden Against Girls, the one with all the cards, How You Doing, right? We all know what that one's referencing. There's Box Against Office, which they didn't quite get right the first time, but they just like kept on trying. Box Against the Office, Games Against the Office. And that's like the first one in a string where like they clearly had some sort of problems and had to keep making it more and more different. Like Cards Against Disney becomes Cards Against Disney with less stolen branding. Notice there's no mouse and it's not black and white anymore. That becomes CADS Against Disney, which becomes Games of Disney with a Z for some reason, becomes Games of Walt, Have a Laugh for Adult, which absolutely seems like something I want to send my money to somebody for. Similarly, Cards Against Star Wars becomes CADS Against Star Wars. And by the way, this is the most anybody has used the term CAD in like 100 years. That becomes Games Against Star Wars, which becomes my favorite, Games Against Star Wars, which is the game I play every time I think about Harrison Ford in those movies. Daddy likey. Up next, the final category, Kickstarters. These are usually like hyper-specific versions of the game that people have tried to make via Kickstarter. I found most of these in a thread called Worst Kickstarter Ever on Board Game Geek that has more than 800 pages. So the first group is the ones that were inexplicably actually funded, like the race card, where every black card has a crime on it and every white card has, you guessed it, some hyper-specific racial description, which, again, that was funded. The Princess Bride, Prepare to Die Again, where every card combination is some variation of, hello, my name is blank, you blanked, prepare to die, which is absolutely never going to get old, ever. There's Cards Against Humanity for London, Cards Against Humanity for New Zealand, twice. Note the subtle name change. Cardies Against Humanity, the Cardi B version, which is so subtle I almost didn't catch it. And it wouldn't be 2020 without Cats Against Carol, which is just astoundingly depressing 6 months after that shit came out. This brings us to my favorite category, the final one, the failed Kickstarters. They didn't meet their funding goals or they got taken down. Nuts and Knockers, the version that has separate cards for men and women that promises to get you laid, son. Crap Amidst Hilarity, written by a, quote, truly despicable bastard. Bad Apples. Askadoo, whatever that means. Rednecks Against Humanity. The Twisted Minds of Mankind, which is notable because they not only crowdsourced the funding, but also tried to crowdsource the writing on the cards themselves, which is the laziest thing I've ever heard of. Trumped Up. Cards Against Technology, which only comes with the black cards, and then for the white cards, you just Google stuff on your phone, which is, again, very stupid. 206 Geek, which is a deck based on a very specific nerd podcast in Seattle, I guess. Uncensored Humors, the blatantly un-PC version where the POTUS player chooses which snowflake wins the prude card. Very creative. Charlie Foxtrot, the deck for veterans. Cards against Alberta, Canada. Not one, but two completely unrelated decks based on The Ticket, a local sports talk radio station in Dallas. Yeah, Cards against the Little Ticket. And then the next one has the weirdest name, The Ticket Against Your Bottom. It must be some inside joke for sports radio listeners. And then Pause Against Humanity, a game for, quote, the cringiest of furries, which features as a stretch goal the Con Crud expansion, which is the most unbelievably inside baseball thing I've ever seen. Yeah. After what went down at Midwest Fur Fest last weekend, I had to make a new 91st card. And the card is Magnus Deridian was ejected from Midwest Fur Fest and arrested after dressing as blank and chanting about blank, which is so specific. My brain gets filled with questions. What did he do? How did you get arrested for dressing as something and chanting, especially at some place as open as a furry convention? I had to know, and whoopsie, because my search history is now forever tainted. And if you guessed that what he did was wearing a giant fursuit-sized World War I German helmet and Sieg Heiling in a hotel lobby, congratulations, you're the winner. There's a photo of it happening. If you click, yes, yeah. So Nazi furries, Sieg Heiling in a hotel lobby. You are a winner if you guessed that. So if you were keeping count during all this, you'll notice that I mentioned 82 different Cards Against Humanity knockoffs, which tells us a few different things. Number one, creativity is dead. 2, we are living in hell. And 3, Magnus Deridian is canceled. So, yeah, that's it. That's the fruit of my research for the past fucking month of my life.
Such amazing work. Thank you so much. My favorite is Game. It's Game versus The Simpsons. Was that it? Just
Yeah,
Game versus, that's like nothing.
Game against Simpsons.
Game against Simpsons. That's so good. And then CADs. Anything with CADs.
Like, I can't imagine how some of those are fun. Like the Office ones, like what is a white card, like carrying a big pot of chili or something. And, oh, that's what she said. It doesn't make any sense.
Amazing research. You should do this for like, I feel like there is a lot of other things that need this amount of research. Do you have anything on deck?
My big quarantine project has been I am producing a full-length, low-budget remake of The Room, like scene by scene. And we're premiering it online. We're doing an online premiere with this place in Chicago called The Hideout, October 2nd.
Very cool. That sounds amazing. Tyler, thank you so much for sharing this wisdom with us.
No problem.
Important work.
I love that picture of the furry in jail. I just Googled furry in jail, and that was the first thing that came up.
I love that it came up. Wow. Okay. Any last words?
No, thanks for having me. I'm happy I got to do the presentation more than one time.
Yeah, that needs to be done many times. Thank you so much. Good night for being with us. Oh, guys. Okay. Wow. Look, he is already typing. Guys, please give it up for your last performer. He is very funny, very creative, does music and comedy type stuff. Can you believe that? Everybody, please clap at home for Let's Let It Load. Sean Bigman. Hello. What's up? Yeah, are you muted or is that it?
So,
I
guys,
feel like I can.
Can
What?
you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yep. We can
I
hear
was
you.
just telling a story. Did you get the beginning? Well,
Tell a
thanks for
story.
having me. No,
How
it's
about you?
okay. I mean, I've had can I show you what's going on with me right now?
Absolutely.
So this is where I am right now. Have you ever been to Club Rallo?
No, I haven't.
This is where I'm coming from right now. You see that?
Let me scroll down. It might take a second to. Oh, here we go. Okay.
This is me. So my boy is DJ Alex. Okay, so it's actually mistakes. His name is actually Alec, ALEC, but they made a mistake. So my boy is DJ Alec, and so I'm his plus one. So we're DJing, right? And he's
Okay.
DJing. I'm helping him out. So you can see. So you know what today is, right?
Labor Day or what? Labor
Okay,
Day.
not quite, but you see what I'm wearing right now?
What?
You see what I'm wearing?
Fancy little outfit is what you're wearing.
What color are my pants?
They are white.
And how much more time do I have to wear the white pants?
Oh, I don't know this stuff.
Okay, well, there's a rule.
You didn't tell
that
me. Dang, as a Jew, I don't know these things.
it's Mem Day.
What?
And you can remember it because Memorial Day is in May with the M and the M.
Well,
Okay,
I'm wearing white as well. Am I not allowed to wear white? I'm wearing a white, actually full white outfit.
No, we got 2 more days, sister.
Good thing I'm doing it now. Wow.
Tuesday, you are breaking some fashion laws.
No. Okay, good to know. Thank you.
Well, so the reason why I say all that is because it's that's the foundation. And look at this. This is not an accident. Do you see what I'm going through right now? Look at this.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that?
It's taking a second to load, but
That's what? No, it's on my hand. There's blood on my hand. Okay. Anyway.
Oh, it's on your hand. I literally was looking at the screen. Show me your hand again. I'm a little quirky. What happened?
I was at Club Rallo, and a guy elbowed me at Club Rallo. I'm in the bathroom right now at Club Rallo. So DJ Alex is killing it right now.
Okay.
So just to give you a little idea of what I'm doing. So this is what Rallo looked like at right about sundown, about 7 p.m. That was what we were dealing with. I mean, it was popping at Rallo.
Did you put something in the dock?
Yeah, do you see it?
Oh, here we go. Okay, looks pretty COVID friendly.
So you see what I'm talking about. It was like popping. Alec was killing it. And out of nowhere, this is what happens to me. I get a text from my sweetheart. Look at this. She might not be anymore. Okay, you see that text? Do you see it?
I don't see it. Oh, here we go. Okay.
Okay, so Donna, that's my boo, right? She holds the key to my heart, which you can see by her name on my phone. So she texts me. She goes, "Another summer come and gone. It's Labor Day. ... You know what that means, right, John?" I say, "No more white denim." She goes, "No, you dunce." Okay, so
next.
So I'm confused. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's going on? I wonder how.
And so I say, and so I say I say the thing about the denim, and then she says, I'll show you what she said after that.
Okay.
It gets real bad.
Let me edge of my seat. I really want to know where you guys are at right now.
Okay, yeah, we're both confused, right? Oh wait, you know what? One sec.
She's giving mixed signals.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I feel like my internet's slow. So
don't apologize. Hey, your internet's slow. I'm slow. I mean, we're on the same page, right? Yeah. She goes.
If you want, you can read them out loud.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna throw the number 2 in. Look, and then she goes. Summer's gone and Mama's still dry as a dessert. You see that? She goes, Mama's still dry as a dessert.
Oh, here we go.
And I go, I go, like a cake? She goes, no, I'm dry because I think she meant to say desert.
Oh,
with one
yes. I see.
right? So that's what she meant to say. And she goes, because of an above ground pool. So I'm confused. She calls me. She starts talking about Steve. So Steve's this guy. Can I show you a picture of Steve? Basically, long story short, Steve is the guy she knows. Steve, I'm trying to learn guitar. It was one of my quarantine things to do. I want to learn how to play the guitar. She's like, I know this guy. I went to high school with him. He teaches guitar lessons. I'm like, okay, great. So she asked me to friend him on Facebook. So I friend him on Facebook. This is Steve. Steve Roberts.
He's not coming up. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Okay.
Steve Roberts 2. Okay, like the number 2.
Bye.
He looks pretty freaking cool, right? And it's like,
Yep.
I want to learn guitar. That's maybe the guy. I think he knows something I don't. Okay, so
he knows something. There's something going on in that head of his. It's lighted.
Right.
It's lit up.
underneath that hat, and then I'm like, okay, I get it. He looks cool, but I mean, I want substance over style. So then she shows me this. He looks a little bit different in this picture, but then she shows me his whole online business, which is called Guitar Lessons with Steve. And his whole thing is you're going to solo, but it's not going to sound like a scale, which is like, that's what I'm looking for. You know about that, right?
Yeah, I don't. Sounding like scales, boring as hell.
You don't want that.
None of that. Absolutely.
Solo is a solo, and the scale's a scale. So I'm like, sweet, sign me up. But then, so that was all what that started off right after I watched Tiger King. So we're talking early April, right? I started seeing Steve. But then she mentioned wanting an above ground pool. So there's a picture, it's on our fridge of this. This sits in our fridge. This picture, right above the picture of Steve. Do you see it?
Yeah.
So that sits on our fridge, and she's like,
Cool. He's on your fridge.
This summer, our beaches, we're not going to go to the beach. I want the AGP. And I said, the AGP, she says, the above ground pool. Okay. We can work. I mean, listen, the coin department is not as robust as it should be, but I can see if I can put some money in the piggy bank for an above ground. So she tells me that she wants it this summer. And she keeps showing me that Steve has an above ground pool. So she shows me this. She says, look at Steve and his girlfriend. And she shows me, do you see that picture?
On the bottom or, oh, yeah.
So that's Steve. And she's like, look at Steve and his girlfriend. And I'm like, they look awesome. I said, here, what am I looking at?
It's pretty different in that picture, I'll say.
Listen, Donna told me, and it's true, Steve contains multitudes.
Absolutely, I can see that. That's incredible. Okay.
But here's the problem. So what happened was, I'm hearing Steve, I'm seeing Steve, and then she says, if you can't get me an above ground pool like Steve did for his girlfriend, I'm freaking leaving you. She said that.
I hope you got her one. You gotta do it the lady one.
Is that where your head goes right off the bat?
I hope you got her one.
So just so we're on the same page. So just so that we're on the same page, that's where your head goes?
Sort of where my head's going. Sorry.
I hope that I got her one. Because what? Happy wife, happy life? I mean, Marissa, I don't know about you, but I'm trying to smush the patriarchy.
I voted for Hillary Clinton. I sort of support women.
Listen, I'm with her. I'm trying to smush the patriarchy. I just don't think. Let me ask you that. One of the reasons why I wanted to come on your show is I feel like you have a very engaged audience, and I feel like you are a good judge of relationship dynamics. So let me ask you this, and I want to ask you, and I want to ask your audience this, and it's a question I've been asking myself a lot. Okay, because this is basically what I'm going through right now. I think I put it above again. Sorry.
Which part?
Um,
Oh, here we go.
right. That's it. Okay, so that basically, I feel like I'm the guy, and then my Donna's the girl. But then there's a question, and then scroll down a little bit. Ultimatums are bad, right? Actually, they're vital for a thriving marriage. Here's why. So she showed me that, and I
Wow,
said
that
the
was
first one was bad, right? And she goes, "Oh, you didn't read the whole thing." And then she shows the rest. So let me ask you this: do you think, Marissa, that ultimatums are good or are bad?
Oh, wow, you're really putting me on the spot here. This feels like an ultimatum. Do I
I know. I
have
feel like it's almost like I'm in the driver's seat, and I am doing the thing like the ultimatum.
I gotta say, hey, ultimatums depends on what the ultimatum is. I can't say yes or no for 100% of the time.
Put yourself in
What
my
about you?
shoes. Would you ever, if you wanted a material thing, I mean, granted, it is a transformative and life-changing thing like an above-ground pool, but would you ever put pressure on the one you love to
Depends
deliver?
on how big the pool is. Depends how big the pool is.
Well, what if I could tell you I could get you specs on the pool? One sec.
Let's talk about that then.
Here's where it gets really hairy, because
Okay.
I said, hey, I don't know if I want to engage in this. I need to get you a pool. But she said, I told you you had until the summer was over, and you have 2 days because the summer's over at Labor Day. And I said, let me just ask my friend yahoo.com or I'm sorry, google.com when the summer's over. And read it and weep, Donna. You see that?
Where is it? I think I know where it's going. But okay, there we go. You've got a while.
Yeah. And I tried telling Donna that, and she's just not having it.
So she thinks it's Monday
She's like, you have 48 hours.
or Tuesday. She thinks it's Tuesday.
Yeah, she's like, you got 48 hours.
Okay,
And then
Donna. Donna, you're wrong.
that's what
I'm on your side now.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm on your side. Completely.
Marissa, you won't believe this. You won't believe this. She goes, you've got 2 days, sweetheart. She made that. I haven't heard that noise since third grade.
Do it again. Do it again big.
And then I wasn't. It was a phone call, but I can imagine that she's going. And I said, Donna, is everything okay? She goes, tick tock, tick tock goes the clock, John. And I said, Donna. So get this. So she tells me this. She tells me that, and I want to read because then I was like, you know what? I get confused easily. I want this information in writing so that I can refer back to it, and there's no more confusions. You know what I mean? So she tells me, I'll tell you exactly what she said because I wrote it down on my computer notes.
Okay.
She said, "Am I living in Crazy Town or what?"
Oh, interesting.
Okay, she goes, the first installment of a above ground pool is $3,750. Get it done. One sec. You know what? I'm going to hold on 1 second. I'm going to just screenshot it for you so I can just share it on the doc.
Let's get that done.
Okay, we're doing it. Okay, boom shakalaka.
Boom shakalaka.
That is just me getting it down. I mean, you're not going to believe what you see. Okay, here we go. I'm going to put it right at the bottom so that all the viewers at home can follow what I was going through. So she goes, summer's gone. Mama's still dry as dessert. And I go, like a cake? And she goes, no, I'm dry. And I go, because of the lack of above ground pool. And she goes, because of the lack of above ground pool. And then she says, first installment, which I guess I found out later is the first installment I need to pay. She goes, first installment is $37.50, and that's not. Listen, that's not in pesos, okay? that's in USD greenbacks. So I go, okay, kind of pricey. She goes, get it done by EO Dub, which do you know what that means?
End of the week.
See, you and Donna are some executive business ladies. I didn't know what that meant. And she goes, or I walk. And then she goes, I walk with Steve. And then you see what I'm doing? These are all the hearts on the face.
Ding, ding, ding. They make sound.
I mean, listen. How many lips has this guy Steve got? Because he is smooching.
That I hope she doesn't get together with Steve. I would feel certainly bad for you.
Well, let me ask you this, because I'm starting to feel. Listen, she's a smart woman. Steve's
you can tell.
Steve's a cool dude. Maybe am I crazy, or should she walk by EOW with Steve?
So difficult. I can't believe you're putting me in this position. Am I supposed to decide the fate of your marriage?
And Marissa, can I just be honest with you? Can I just be?
Yeah. Okay, let's hear it.
Nakedly honest with you?
Yes, be naked.
I had a whole song and dance planned. I think entertainment, so it's escapism. You give people, someone's had a crappy day, they log on to YouTube, and we take them away. We're so lucky. We're public servants is what we are. And if we're lucky, we're able to. And instead, what am I doing? I had a whole song and dance planned. I was going to do this thing. I do this thing where I wiggle my ears, where I wiggle one ear at a time. Very rare. Not a lot of people can do that. So I had a whole thing planned, and you won't believe this. I'm at Club Ralo for this Labor Day party with DJ Alec, and I get these flurry of texts all of a sudden, and I'm trying to make sense of it, and I'm like, you know what? The show must go on, but the show needs to be modified. Wait, Marissa.
But I will say, John, I don't think I can make this decision. I'm going to say I'm glad you are talking honestly about your feelings here, but I will say that I cannot make this decision for you. It's going to have to come from the heart. Okay?
So let me ask you this, and I appreciate that. I feel like if you gave me a rushed answer, I'd be skeptical. I appreciate that it's complex, and I appreciate you taking the time. Do you think that I should give everything I can to raising $3,750? And like I said, that's not in pesos. That's US. Do I do everything in my bones to get that done for a fighting chance at that above-ground pool?
Well, you never know until you try.
So I should do it.
You never know until you try. So give it a whirl. Doesn't work out, then it's not meant to be.
You know what? Did you watch Rugrats?
Of course.
Okay, you just did a thing. Angelica's mom used to talk like this. Remember? She was always on a cell phone call.
I sort of remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that. She was on the.
Can you believe that I got
a bloody nose? What?
Can you believe I got a bloody nose at Club Ralo? I mean, do you see that?
Can you believe I got a bloody nose in the middle of teaching my media arts class for kids?
No.
A couple months ago.
Do they know what the implications? Do the little kids know the implications of a bloody nose?
Well, the implication for me was that I was very dry in my nose, and it had nothing to do with drugs.
No, of course not. But I feel like
I don't think they know.
I don't think they know either. I got a bloody nose in a bathroom at a bar, crowded, and it was a single person. And I locked the door to try to deal with the blood, and people were like, that was embarrassing.
And was it from Drogas?
No. It doesn't. Listen, I'm off the sauce. I'm off the nose candy. None of it. I don't touch the bad stuff. It was changes in seasons.
Oh, that happens to me. It was the first nosebleed I ever got, actually. in the middle of teaching my media arts class for kids.
How old are the little guys and girls?
They were like 6 to 10 range.
That's cool that you are exposing that age to the media arts.
Pretty cool, right?
Are they like kind of jaded because they have like phones and access to cameras?
A little bit. They are a little bit.
That's
I will
cool.
say. So, Johnny, have you made a decision? Are you going to try and raise this money for your wife?
I think that while you didn't give me a definitive answer, part of me was hoping and thinking that you're going to say, if she doesn't love you without an above ground pool, she don't love you and she don't deserve you. And you didn't do that.
Unfortunately, I didn't say it.
Which is, hey, I guess she's your soul sister. I guess there's this bond that I can't understand. So I am going to give it my darndest to raise that money and to give our love a chance.
I think you should. Everybody,
I think it's
clap for love. Clap for
hey,
love.
2020.
This is a
Love
beautiful story.
I think so. We'll see. I
Love
mean,
wins.
the story's not written, but we'll
Huh?
see. The story is yet to be written, but we shall see.
Okay. And okay. Let's plug your Instagram so they know they can follow up on the story. It's just John _ Bigman, right?
That's
John
it.
_ Bigman. Follow him. You'll see what happens.
Listen, can I just?
Oh my God.
I appreciate the plug, but you guys, I work real hard to make you like for some yucks and some lulls and some likes. You come to my page, you smash a follow. I can almost guarantee you're gonna like what you see. Okay. Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me, Marissa.
Wow, thank you so much for being here. Do you have any parting words?
Well, if anyone wants to come in Club Rallo, we got a couple more hours left to party at us at Club Rallo. And like I said, DJ Alec has a guest list. So if any of your followers, any of your viewers want to come, consider it an after party to the Google Doc.
Okay, that sounds fun. I think I will see you there.
Let me know.
Wow, okay.
Like I said, even though his name's Alec, the club is actually calling him DJ Alex. He's a little upset about it. So make sure I ask for DJ Alex with an X, because you know. But yeah, we're all down at Club Rallo.
Sounds amazing. Wow, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you
Round
so
of applause
much.
at home. Okay, I get everybody to clap at home. Thank you, John.
I'll see you guys soon. Let's just call it that.
Let's call it that. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Okay, you guys. That was Marissa's Google Doc Quarantine Party 9.0. Thank you so much for coming. Remember, if you want to throw some tips at the performers, we've got my Venmo on the bottom. Thank you so much for watching. And that is